What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. This is Living to Learn. I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I want to remind you that if you enjoy this content, if you like what I put out here on this channel, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. That would help me out a lot. Also, if you would like to follow me on social media for more content, or if you are just looking for a way to get a hold of me, to contact me, the best way is either through Instagram or TikTok. That's at Live to Learn Coaching. The handle is in the description of this video. Also, if you want to take the support even further and you want to invest in my channel financially, which some of you have, and by the way, thank you so much for those of you who have already done this. There's 3 opportunities to donate financially to my channel. Again, to be found within the description of this video. Again, that's above and beyond. You don't have to do that. But if you want to support in that way, those are your opportunities to do so. So again, thanks so much for watching. Let's get back to what we've been covering, what we're going to be covering this month. For those of you that are unaware, it is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, right? And I like that it coincides, it shares a month with Pride Month. And I like that because there's a lot of similarities in both of these subjects and both of these topics. I can't touch too much on the LGBTQIA plus situation. I'm not a member of that community, but I can understand that social stigmas, ignorance, if you will, has played a significant part in bringing harm unnecessarily to individuals, that community. And in the same manner, stigmas in regards to men and how men are supposed to carry ourselves, how we are supposed to appear. See, everything is outward, right? We only can see outward. So I'm not going to put that on us because that's being a human being. There's nothing else to be said about that. Right? I can't look at someone and see them at a subconscious level. I can't understand their spiritual, the spiritual aspect of them as a person. My eyes can only see what's in front of me. But with that being said, the Pride Month, Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, they share that in common. This outward stigma based on things that have just been assumed. They've been taught, they've been passed down, and for some of us, they've been taken as fact. We've come to accept them as fact. And one of the things that I want to do in this channel, not just for this month, not just for this subject, but in just the way that I present information, just the way that I approach topics and subjects. I'm not an expert by any means. But I am a person who knows how to think. I am a person who is gifted. I'm a person who is talented. I'm a person who has a knack for understanding certain things about individuals. And I also am someone who has taken a difficult journey in unlearning a lot of things that I used to know as fact. And so with that, I take everything that I know and I bring it to the forefront of these videos. And the idea behind what I'm sharing is to help other people begin to unlearn some things, begin to take off the blinders, begin to release ourselves, give ourselves permission to think outside of whatever box our minds have been put into. So going back to men's mental health awareness, there is the reason why there needs to be awareness is because there are stigmas, there are false understandings, there is ignorance out there that is keeping men from allowing themselves to be mentally healthy. And there are many aspects of this. This is not just a simple thing to cover. A lot of these things have to do with our upbringing, they have to do with our culture, right? Depending on what your ethnicity is. You were raised with certain kind of cultural, these like cultural norms, if you will. And I touched on this in the last video as a third generation Mexican American. I'm not from Mexico. I'm an American. I live in the United States, but some of that part of my heritage, some things culturally, they still remain. And most of those things have been beneficial. Most of those things are things that I celebrate and that I still uphold, but some of those things should probably be done away with. And I'm one of the fortunate ones. I was actually given an opportunity to express and to come to try to understand as much as possible, right? Try to wrestle with some of these mental dealings, right? Some of these things as a boy, as a teenager, and as a man. And I'll tell you what, this channel is by no means a religious channel. All are welcomed on this channel. That's not my concern on this channel. And there's a lot of things that I've come to disagree with concerning my, faith, church, theology, a lot of things that a lot of beliefs that I used to hold true to that I no longer do. And so with that being said, one of the greatest benefits for myself in having been raised in churches, I got to see something that a lot of other young boys don't get to see. I got to see men crying. I grew up in a Pentecostal church. Being Pentecostal is just one sect of Christianity, right? There are thousands of denominations, and there are thousands of groups within each denomination, right? Even though we all preach from the same, we all derive our information from the same book. We just somehow found ourselves in thousands of different places. But anyway, in our particular distinctive as Pentecostals is our emotion, right? You believe in the gifts of the Spirit, and these are all theological terms. These are all terms that you'll find. And you can look up what these things mean if you've never heard these things before. But this stuff was very common. It was normal for me growing up. It was normal for me to see men on their face crying out at the altar. And you know what? What's great about that is you can spiritualize it or you cannot. And I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, it doesn't have to necessarily, just because I don't call it this doesn't mean it's not official. But you can spiritualize it, you cannot spiritualize it. The fact is, crying is extremely helpful for us. It is a detox. It is a stress reliever. When it comes to mental health, one of our greatest assets is crying. But as men, some of us have been taught that is our enemy. You don't cry. Boys don't cry. Real men don't cry. And those words echo in our subconscious. And so something that was meant to be seen as an ally has been seen as an enemy. And that's another thing that relates to Pride Month, right? We've been taught to go like this to people that are different from us, when in reality we have much more in common than that small difference. When in reality there's much more benefit, there's much more of a beneficial aspect in crying for men than there is in making them look weak or something negative. It is okay to cry if you identify as a man. It's one of the best things you can do for yourself. It's one of the best things you can do for the people in your life that are important. And let me just give you something to take home with you. Crying can help release pent-up emotions. What's the result of that? It's reducing stress and providing a sense of relief. It can act as an emotional reset, helping individuals process and move through difficult feelings. See, as men, we want to, we have there's this idea that men are to take charge, to take possession. And I think there's some good about that. But why not apply it here? That's what this is saying, right? Helping individuals process and move through difficult feelings. I'm managing my feelings through shedding tears. Whatever it takes to get us to understand crying as a perfectly healthy, okay thing for men to do. However you need to frame it. Because, see, I grew up seeing men cry. I grew up in church. Maybe you didn't. You're like, man, I don't even know what to do with this information. I hear what you're saying, but I can't make sense of it. So now you've got to begin to reframe it. You've got to begin to take it and put it in a way that you're going to understand slowly but surely. Remember, any progress, if it's an inch forward, is still forward progress. So my guys, my men, my young men, it's okay to cry. Take care of yourself. Take care of those difficult emotions. Process through them. Learn how to work through them. This is what we as men do. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I'm talking to you. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. And I hope this has helped.